time for hot picks in pharma now. Our guest does have Eli Lilly as one of its selections, and there's talk that company is negotiating to buy a California-based biosciences company. We'll get to that shortly, but let's get to our guest first. Evan Seigerman, Managing Director at BMO Capital Markets. Evan, always great to see you, and thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Can we start off with another name? It's familiar to us, Of course, Gilead. Remind us what Gilead does these days. What's its main franchise, and why do you like the stock?
Most definitely. And so Gilead is the leader in HIV treatment and prevention. We are very bullish on their long-acting prevention asset called Yeztugo. We also like that they are making really good headway in the cell therapy space. So these are cell treatments to treat blood cancers. We think they're going to be very competitive in the multiple myeloma area, kind of competing against J&J and Legend's Carvykti, potential approval later this year. So beyond kind of the fundamentals of the company, and they also inked a deal with the Trump administration late last year, kind of taking some of investors' fears off the table regarding MFN pricing or most favored nation pricings for their HIV business. They have a lot of capacity to do transactions. I think that they've really done a good job of cleaning up house, tightening up their P&L, looking at their expense base. And I think that they are in this growth mode and can execute very well into the end of the decade, driving superior returns.
And HIV is still a big enough problem for a company to make money from medications in this area?
Great question. Yes, it is. There are millions of people living with HIV globally. And beyond that, they are working to prevent new HIV cases. So that's really what's key. They have a long-acting product called Yeztugo, I had mentioned, and we believe that's going to be the market leader. So we see strength in that franchise into the 2030s.
Your next idea is a company called Disc Medicine. Its symbol is iron, I-R-O-N. Tell us what's their main focus?
Great question. So this is one of our biotech picks. The reason why their ticker's iron is because they deal with the blood, hemoglobin, and iron, kind of a little play there. But why we like Disc Medicine? So they were a recipient of the Commissioner's National Priority Review Voucher. So one of the special priority review vouchers given to kind of assets of high unmet need for a drug called bitopertin. Could be approved this month. They had some really good phase 2 data. And for a small biotech company to have an approved asset, 3 or 4 years after they kind of did the reverse merger is really impressive. Beyond that, they have a drug looking at anemia associated with a blood disorder called myelofibrosis. Competitive space, but we really like what they see. So the key here is small biotech company with multiple shots on goal, and that's a unique feature among kind of the universe.
Let's get to Eli Lilly, and maybe can you talk to at all about this news from the Wall Street Journal that they're in talks to buy an outfit called Ventyx?
Most definitely. So we put out a note yesterday, so I'm happy to talk about it. Ventyx Bio is a smaller biotech company. I think the deal kind of in the journal had suggested about $1 billion. So not a huge number for Lilly, right? They have almost unlimited capacity to transact. But what this would get Lilly is a host of small molecule drugs for various inflammatory diseases like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, other diseases kind of in the cardiovascular system. They also have a drug that allows for inflammatory control in the brain, potentially for Parkinson's disease. So higher risk, high reward. It seems like they're buying a platform and assets that they think they can take potentially forward. May not all work, but really highlights Lilly's focus beyond obesity into the inflammatory space.
Lilly generally is a stock you like, is a big driver of that, the GLP-1 drugs?
Most definitely. I mean, we still believe they are the leader in the GLP-1 drugs. Their lead asset, Zepbound, is the best in our view. We also highlight that their small molecule oral orforglipron likely approved at some point in the first half of this year. Going to go toe-to-toe with Novo's oral Wegovy. A lot of focus on that. But what's key here is we see Lilly continues to execute and provide, create products for all patients kind of on the obesity spectrum, from the lower efficacy, think with orforglipron, all the way up to a drug called retatrutide for patients who really need, rapid and sustained kind of deep weight loss. We also like that they have assets outside of obesity, kind of unlike Novo Nordisk, or really where they're focused. Novo is really just focused on obesity and diabetes. They have other assets. But with Lilly, they have oncology, neuroscience, inflammation, and that diversity gives us comfort in their broad business.
And can you just update us? Have these GLP-1 drugs that you just take a pill for, are they actually on the market now? Because I know the industry's been desperate to get them out there.
Great question. So in late December, right ahead of Christmas, FDA approved the Wegovy pill, so the semaglutide Wegovy tablet. And Novo earlier this week announced availability. They are starting via the cash pay channel. I think in the United States, the low dose is $149 a month. Not available kind of outside of the United States, but a lot of focus there. One other thing I want to highlight, I get a lot of questions on the potential for a generic semaglutide in Canada. We got some reports that there are delays for potential approval because of some manufacturing issues. So we're closely watching that. Could come later this year, but could even be delayed beyond that.
So it's semaglutide. It's not semaglutide. Yeah, I thank you.
Tomato.
No, I'm going to go with what you say, Evan. Why not? Thanks very much. Before we let you go, because we love hearing your insights on drugs, what else should we look out for in 2026? Is there a big event coming for investors, do you think?
Great question. I think there's going to be a lot more M&A. Obviously, we had the news of the potential news of Ventyx and Lilly, but a lot of the companies that I follow, the big biopharmas need to buy. So Merck, Bristol, Lilly could buy the European pharma companies. We know Novo is going to buy. All these companies need to add to their portfolios, which is great for the small biotech kind of ecosystem, which is why I highlighted Disc Medicine. And I think that is going to be a key driver of this space going forward.
Thank you very much indeed, Evan. Great hearing from you.
Always a pleasure.
Evan Seigerman, Managing Director at BMO Capital Markets.